there's three main ways that you're going to put your messaging into action. Three main ways. These are not the only ways. I'm only going to highlight three. Because again, if you follow our roadmap, you're going to use your messaging in your branding. You're going to use your messaging in your website. You're going to use it in your SEO. You're going to use it in your advertisements. You're going to use it on social media. You're going to use it in all your publications. You're going to use it as part of your outreach strategy. You're going to use it for everything. I'm just going to highlight three of what I think are the priorities here, especially as you and I are talking in a marketing sense. Okay. So number one, when you're putting this framework to work, you're making it a reality. You're putting it into action and implementing it. Just to get to the point, you're going to start usually with your website. Okay, and the part of the messaging framework that you're going to put in you're going to use for your website is your pain points and your user journey or your guest journey. Meaning, what do I want people to do? Well, usually, if they're on your website, it's going to be check us out, visit us in person, fill out a Connect card, or plan a visit, or what. And if they're not ready to do that, watch a sermon video, or look at our kids' information, or download this resource. Whatever that is, you're going to redo everything in your website, usually after going through StoryBrand. That one-liner, you're going to manipulate it to become your headline. And I've got some examples I'll share with you towards the end here. Your brand script is usually going to be on your homepage in some way, which is kind of like your extended one-liner, or it is your one-liner. Your testimonies are going to be on your homepage. That you're going to know where to put and insert based on the StoryBrand framework in that book. Again, link down below. Your guest path, right? If you know that you want someone to watch a message before they come to church, you're going to give them a big button to click. Watch this message. If you want them to plan a visit and go see what to expect and fill out a form, you're going to put a big button, plan your visit, and you're going to plaster it all over your homepage. So people know what you want them to do. They are clear that, hey, this isn't a menu, okay? If you want, you can go find everything we have. But right now, I want you to do one thing. Plan a visit. Watch this message. Download this resource. Whatever it is. That's how you're gonna implement this into your website. And then as you write the rest of your website pages, your plan a visit, your ministry page, your about page, your leader page, your contact page, all of that is going to be written through the framework of who are we reaching, what do they care about, and how can we write content for our website that is effectively going to reach those people. For example, if you say you're a church that is real people with a real purpose, then your leadership page needs to reflect what makes you a real person. Okay? Because real people, in most mind's eye, they don't care about your seminary experience, your preaching experience, how long you've been a deacon in the church, and then how you became a pastor at the church. They don't care about that. What makes a real person are your hobbies, your interests, your experiences. If you're a family-focused church, then talk about your pastor's family on the leadership page, because you know that that's important to your people. So often we look at our bio and we say, oh, there's a tangent. We look at our bio and say, this is what's important to me, therefore you should know about it. I'm going to look at what's important to you, and I'm only going to tell you what's important to you. The second thing you're going to look at is your social media and advertising. And I put those together because social media without advertising is basically a waste. The only exception to that is maybe Reels and TikTok. So if you're going to be doing social media, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and then especially advertising, like online advertising, you're going to need to know who you're talking to. And not only that, you're going to need to know what they're looking for. This is the first step, the second step of the StoryBrand framework. Who is the character and what is their problem? You're going to advertise to that problem. One of our churches, their problem is they feel like they have a boot in their neck. They cannot get ahead in life. No matter what they try, whoever's advice they follow, they cannot get ahead. That's the problem. So how can the church assist with that? Job placement, food pantry, helping you make rent. Another area, they're in a heavily churched area, and they're tired of churches putting on these big production, and they're shallow. So what is their advertisements? Getting answers, resources to figure out what God actually wants for you. What does God want for you outside of giving this church $100 a month or giving that church 10% of your paycheck so they can clean the city's biggest slide or fund the Easter egg drop from a helicopter? I'm sure there are a lot of people that would love to fund that, but there are also a lot of people that are burned out by that. They want real answers. So that's the advertisement. Ask us anything. There's another area that's extremely unhealthy. They're in a food desert. What do you advertise to them? Well, yeah, you could advertise a food pantry. Maybe you could advertise computer classes so they can become computer literate and get a job and work their way up and out of the community. Okay? So whatever that advertising is, you're speaking to that pain point. And the same thing on social media. If you're reaching families, then on social media, talk about things for the family that help the family. It's okay to not spend time, resources, energy speaking to people. You're not making Korean language posts if you're an English-speaking church. So you don't need to make posts for people you're not equipped to serve. Other churches will handle that. God will plant other churches for them or other ministries. So speak to those pain points. Speak to those people. The last thing that you can use it for, and yeah, this is a lot internal, but it has external implications as well. Implications? External results. And that is your sermons, the curriculum you pick, and the ministries you start. Your message is almost like your mission, meaning anything you do at your church should align with your mission. If your mission is to make disciples who make disciples, and you have a pizza party where you don't tell anyone about Jesus or encourage and equip your students to tell their friends about Jesus, why did you have a pizza party? You could have used that money elsewhere. That's on mission. Not saying there's anything wrong with pizza parties. There's something wrong with pizza parties that don't align or accomplish the mission of the church. Once you know you're the hero of the story, your potential guests, who your members were all potential guests at one point, you know what their problems are. You can do sermons on that problem and use that problem to point people to Jesus. The ministries you plant, right? If the problem is our community is undereducated, let's start a college for these undereducated people. Let's do computer classes for these undereducated. Let's do finance classes for these undereducated. I got clients that those are just 3 examples that popped to the top of my head. Got another community that's well off, a church that's in a well-off community. So let's teach finance classes to make sure they're not going to get in trouble with the IRS, but also that we can show them how to use their funds for charity instead of just more selfish ambitions, right? So whatever that looks like, your messaging can help influence and assist, not influence. Your messaging can help assist accomplish your mission by providing more insight into why your church exists. You know who you're going to serve. You know what they want. You know what their problems are. You know how you can help them. So now you know what sermons to preach, what curriculum to choose for classes, and what ministries you need to plant that will assist in carrying out that mission and assist in spreading that message. This is putting it into reality. Because if you just do the framework, nothing's going to happen. If you just if you go through the Story Brand book, check. Make your Story Brand framework, check. Write your Story Brand homepage, check. But if you don't do anything with it, you just wasted $15. I don't care if that book was free. You wasted the shipping cost. So you will have more clarity on what your church is doing and how you do it and why you do it and how it's going to help someone else. It will also give you clarity and the ability to say no, because that's not who we are. It'd be the same as if someone came to my church, a church that meets in the homes, and said, hey, I want to plan a building. It's not who we are. And if you look at our mission statement, it does sound like who we are, but it's not our message. It would be very confusing. And I think that's the thing that confuses people is when you communicate something that you aren't, they come with false expectations and they're let down, disappointed, and burned again.